Hey guys, CryptoDad here again. Thanks for joining me on the Saturday night live stream. Live from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. We'll talk about Bitcoin. We'll talk about the news. We'll talk about altcoins. Going to move some crypto around for you guys. And as always, I'll do my very best to get to your questions and see if we can't troubleshoot your problems here live. So thank you everyone for joining me. Bitcoin has broken the 100K mark. That story is a few days old, but we're still over it. We're about $103,500 if memory serves me correctly. We'll check the current price here in a second. So that's big news. There's also quite a few good adoption stories. Arizona is the second state in the U.S. to create a Bitcoin reserve. There's a couple other great stories that have to do with adoption. So we'll cover those. And then there are a few requests tonight to cover some subjects from some of my friends. Aaron asked me about tokenization, and Paul asked me about a new service on Ledger Live for buying and selling called Transact. I looked into it. It does appear to be a US-based company. So I'll probably do a full video on that. But in the meantime, I'll let you guys, I'll show you where it's at in Ledger Live and how to get hooked up with that. So let me just start recording so that I will have this for posterity. I might do some fun stuff tonight. I have said some surprising things during my live stream that resonated very well in shorter formats. So I know a lot of people don't tune in to watch me for a whole hour, but sometimes I go on rants, and when I've got record on, I can edit down on Monday or Sunday or Monday and post a little video. And I had one video that I ranted on the live stream that went over 100K. So yeah, I like to record. I'm always disappointed at the end of the stream. I'm like, I forgot to hit record. All right. So let's greet everyone that's here. Let's go over here to the other window. And I hope the streaming is coming through. It's complaining here that my stream rate is kind of low, but it's kind of hard to change it once it's started. So I'll look at that after. But everyone, thank you for being here. As always, Kenny was here early. Andreas was here early. He said hello yesterday. I did some stuff today on Saturday. I usually like to keep my Saturdays free because I got the live stream. But I went to a men's breakfast this morning at my church. And then I had also signed up for some volunteer work. After that, between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. And I went and did that. It was basically just yard work. It was really great, but I was worried that if I spent the day working, I'd come home and then I'd be tired and I wouldn't have time to get everything set up. So I set up the live stream yesterday. I got the news stories in line, got the thumbnail and everything. So, yeah, and I don't go live, but you can post your live stream, and say, okay, I'm planning on going live at 6 p.m. on Saturday. And so it's up, right? So I guess Andreas saw that yesterday. Thanks for being there. I appreciate it. But yeah, sometimes over the course of a day, the stuff that you post kind of goes away. Well, I don't know why that is. Mr. Miski is here. Mark Schlossberg from Slovakia. Kenny and Andreas are talking about bees. Who has the bees? Someone said they have bees. Oh, Andreas has bees. Cool. Yeah. Oh, great honey. It's one of the most natural sweeteners in the world, right? Dustin and Shadow is here giving away memberships. Thank you so much. Drew is here. Let's see who else is here tonight. Wayne Tyler, Gregory Whelan, Simona Moulin. Thank you so much for being here again, guys. Birds, Bees, and Trees, HR by Catherine. P. Wizzle is here. Thanks for being here, Paul. Emil B. Droning on again and again. Thoughts on Pulse Chain and Richard Hart defeating the SEC. I still kind of think it's a scam coin. I mean, that's just my opinion. I really don't want to talk about the merits of Pulse Chain. So, but that's my opinion. You asked me, and that's my opinion. More power to you if you invested in Pulse Chain and made yourself some money. Goody for you. The cat is good. The cat's doing very well. He was out all night not too long ago. It's getting much nicer here in West Michigan. It's not cold. I don't leave him out all night when it's below freezing. I try not to. He's okay. If it's 25, 30 or whatever, it's when it gets down to 15 that you really don't want to leave him out all night, even though he's probably survived. But now it's like 42 out there, so he can stay out all night if he wants to. Fred McIntyre is here. G. Luna is here. Okay, so thank you guys, everyone, for being here. I've got so much stuff going on that I hate that this sounds like a commercial, but I do want to touch on these things that are going on that help support me and the channel. It just sort of evolved over time. If you are new to the stream, check out the description. There's all kinds of cool stuff in there. What we're going to talk about tonight, our agenda of things I want to cover. My latest video was on Caleb and Brown. I think I told you guys about Caleb and Brown last week. I am an ambassador for Caleb and Brown. They reached out to me. I'm all about self-custody, but there have been times over the last couple years where I'm like, I just don't think self-custody is for everyone. I mean, there are just people out there that I, just really, the questions that they ask. But hey, I guess that could happen to any teacher, a physics teacher, or English teacher. I'm like, these kids are all asking me the same question. And then you get a new generation of kids that come in and ask the same old questions again. So, but yeah, I get jaded sometimes. So, but I really think that this is the right thing for some people. I'm all about self-custody, but some people need a little extra hand. And I get a lot of complaints over the years, people that want better customer service. This is it. So I'll talk about that a little bit. That's my latest video. We've got, okay. So here's my Caleb and Brown, landing page. A little testimonial that I did, about people that I've met that have lost crypto, through seed phrase mismanagement, whether it's writing it down incorrectly, losing the seed phrase, or being scammed and, being tricked into revealing the seed phrase. I've seen it all. And I've had personal experience with heartbreaking losses of people that I've come to know, and it breaks my heart. So this might be a better solution for a lot of people out there. If you still have a Ledger Nano S, please upgrade that device to a better wallet. I know everyone, I had somebody in the comments the other day, and he was mad because he bought it 5 years ago. He stuck it in a drawer. And then he pulled it out and it didn't work. But he didn't go into any details. But he's mad. It's an electronic device. Over the years, I've ranted about this again and again. We used to buy, you would go out and buy tools, right? And those are supposed to last you your whole life, right? A lifetime guarantee. I get all that, right? Then we had TVs. Well, the TV was good for a year or two, maybe 10, 20 years for a television set. And then computers came along. Well, computer, they've kind of hit a plateau now, so you could have a 10-year-old computer. But back when I first got into computers, you really, if you wanted to do the latest stuff, you needed a new computer like every other year or so, right? To do the latest stuff. And it's still like that in a lot of ways. To play the latest games, you need the latest hardware. You need a better graphics card every couple years or whatever. So as technology advances, as society advances, we're getting devices that really need to be upgraded every few years ago to keep up with technology. I mean, it's just that simple. And, you know, I get it. If you bought this thing, you paid your $79 back in 2017, you know, and you're mad that it doesn't work anymore. I totally get that. But realistically, if you are hodling lots of crypto, if you bought let's say you bought $20,000 worth of Bitcoin back in over time or whatever, back in 2018, and here it is 2025, and that crypto is worth over $100,000, and you're all mad because you spent $79 on a hardware wallet that doesn't work anymore. Get over it, right? You want a better hardware, you want a better experience, right? So if you have an old Ledger Nano S, you can get a new one. You can get a brand new Ledger Flex, Ledger STAX for a 20% discount. Or if you just want to get pretty much the same thing, get your Ledger Nano S Plus. It's pretty much the same thing, at a discount. Ledger Nano X also, which has mobile and Bluetooth, if you're a crypto guy on the go. But personally, I don't like these old interfaces. I like the touchscreen. Call me crazy, right? But, we make fun of old guys that still use the flip phone. They're like, oh, it works fine for me. All I do is make calls. I'm like, yeah, okay, but I want a smartphone, that can tell me the weather and, get me Google Maps. So give me directions when I'm driving, all that kind of stuff. I want the latest technology. So, that's a touchscreen. So a phone, a tablet, a laptop with a touchscreen, that's where technology is leading us. So why are we still using old buttons? I'll get off my soapbox, but if you got a Ledger Nano X, if you have an old Ledger Nano S, connect it, unlock it, and you'll qualify for a discount. That's all you got to do. You don't have to sign any transactions. And if you don't have a Ledger Nano S and you want to get a brand new device, you can still get a discount using my landing page. All these links are down in the description. So check out the Bitcoin rebate that you can get using the CryptoDad page. Also, if you like Tangem wallets, CryptoDad is still getting a 15% discount. I think it's going to work all through the month of May. So it's even better than their discount, which is 7% for Pizza Day. So use CryptoDad as your checkout code at Tangem and get 15% off. Okay, I'm done. All right, let's jump into the news. Bitcoin reclaims 100K for the first time since January. Unlike the previous 100K hits, the new price spike came as Bitcoin market dominance surged above 60%, reflecting more bullish BTC sentiment. When they talk about market dominance, they're talking about other cryptos, right? And some people don't know the terminology. There's cryptocurrency, which is all of them, right? There's Bitcoin, which is the granddaddy. And then anything that's not Bitcoin is classified as an altcoin, A-L-T, alt. So anything that's not Bitcoin is like Ethereum, Solana, Cardano, whatever. Those are altcoins, and they all have their own use cases. I'm totally behind other cryptos. It's a technology that can be expanded to a lot of things. And Aaron had asked me about tokenization, and that's done with altcoins that can support smart contracts like Ethereum. But others can too, like Solana and Cardano. Anywho, when they say market dominance for Bitcoin, they're talking about the, I think it's market cap of people that are holding crypto altogether. I don't know where they get these figures, but when Bitcoin is at 60% market dominant, that's pretty high. Bitcoin has gone down to the mid to low 50s in market dominance. Back in the old days in 2017 and even in 2020 and 21, the altcoins kind of took the spotlight away from Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's market dominance came down a bit. So, but now we're back over 100K. Bitcoin market dominance is up. So that's all great stuff. Now, Bitcoin broke 100K, I think on Wednesday or Thursday, and has been over that since, right? Bitcoin has reclaimed 100K for the first time since January. May 8th, 3:22 p.m. Yeah, there you go. May 8th. What was that? A couple days ago. That would be Thursday, right? It marked the third time that BTC has broken through the six-figure level since first achieving it on December 5th, 2024. A second all-time high followed on January 20th ahead of U.S. President Donald Trump's inauguration. So third time we've broken 100K. And I remember back in 2018, 19, people were saying Bitcoin was a Ponzi scheme that collapsed, a bubble that popped when it hit 20,000 in late 2017. And, you were a fool for believing that it was worth anything. And here we are, Bitcoin over 100K. So there are still people out there that are still saying that Bitcoin is worthless based on nothing, just the greater fool theory, right? It's just I buy it and some other greater fool comes along and buys it from me. That's all it's good for. Well, we can say that about a lot of things in this world. And if you want to talk Ponzi schemes, let's talk about the U.S. dollar, right? That gets created out of thin air by the U.S. Treasury when they create bonds and then sell them to the Federal Reserve. And then the Federal Reserve issues dollars based on nothing except the full faith and credit of the United States, which still, carries a lot of weight. But in reality, it's based on nothing. So anywho, let's go on. We're talking about Bitcoin dominance. I think I covered that. Why is it rising? We got some more stories. Why don't we go over to those? Arizona becomes the second state to establish a Bitcoin strategic reserve. Let's bring this up a bit so you can see it better. Arizona joins New Hampshire in leading the digital finance frontier, turning unclaimed state assets into Bitcoin through a bold, budget-neutral strategy aimed at combining inflation and modernizing public funds. Well, this is kind of a strange thing. It's sort of like, well, we're not going to directly invest in it with money that we're taking in from taxes or whatever. We're just going to take stuff we've got laying around and that nobody's claimed, and it's like the Arizona lost and found. They're not going to hang on to the old stuff that people leave laying around. They're going to sell it for Bitcoin. But we got to start somewhere, so that's pretty cool. Strategic Bitcoin Reserve, right? On Thursday, Governor Katie Hobbs signed House Bill 2749 into law, officially launching an Arizona Bitcoin and digital assets reserve. There it is. A few weeks back, she vetoed something. And I don't know if this is the same law that they overrode her veto, or if it's a different version, or if it's like a completely separate thing but had to do with Bitcoin. I don't know. I don't have time to look into it now, but very historic, right? The stablecoin bill is failed due to a lot of people worried about Trump capitalizing on the crypto market. Who knows? He definitely has some a stake in the crypto market, right? He released his own meme coin last year, I guess it was. He's got a media company that is invested in cryptocurrency. And so, the Democrats are crying foul. And so the stablecoin bill did not get passed. This would have opened up a lot more financial avenues for cryptocurrency, specifically stablecoins like US dollar coin and Tether. And so it's kind of a shame that it got defeated. And Senator Tim Scott's not too happy about it. The vote, which failed to reach cloture in the Senate, which means sort of like they have a vote before the vote where you have to have at least 60 votes to override what could be filibuster, right? But now they've altered the rules where okay, it has to pass by 60 to get to the vote, right? In the old days, the senators used to just stand there and talk to filibuster bills that they didn't like. And I think Cory Booker was doing. He broke the record. I don't know if that was a filibuster or if he was just. I don't know. I don't think he was trying to prevent a law from getting passed. But yeah, the old days they used to actually filibuster, but now they have a what they call a cloture rule. Anyway, this bill did not get past that hurdle, and so has failed. It might come back in a different flavor. Who knows? But it's crypto is here to stay, and it would be nice if the U.S. lawmakers pass some sensible regulations, right? So we could get to business, right? But that's kind of bad news. Germany seized 38 million in crypto from BYBIT hack-linked EXCH exchange. The 38 million crypto seizure from BYBIT hack-linked, well, that's a mouthful, BYBIT hack-linked EXCH was the third largest crypto confiscation in the history of Germany's federal criminal police. It's funny, Germany had confiscated a bunch of Bitcoin last year or the year before, and then they sold it, right? And everyone was freaking out, oh, Germany's selling all their Bitcoin, the price is going to, they got a bunch of Bitcoin, they're selling it, and that was a bad thing, and everyone thought the Bitcoin market was finished and all this stuff. Well, I think Germany probably regretted selling all that Bitcoin, because if they'd have held on to it, it'd been worth a lot more, right? So we'll see. What are they going to do with all this? This isn't Bitcoin. The BYBIT hack was Ethereum, I believe, and a bunch of Ethereum tokens. So on May 9th, the German Federal Criminal Police and Frankfurt's main prosecutor's office involving multiple crypto assets. Well, there was some Bitcoin in there. Okay, so there was some Bitcoin, there was some Ethereum, there was some Litecoin, and Dash. The move marks the third largest crypto confiscation in BKA's history. Interesting. So the EXCH exchange had no anti-money laundering policies, right, to prevent money laundering. They were a swapping service that allowed users to exchange various crypto assets without implementing anti-money laundering measures. There they go, measures, right? That's the word I was looking for. Back in 2017, 18, even into 2020, all you really needed to open up a crypto account was an email and a password. So there were really, you didn't have to show any ID or anything. And so you could just buy crypto, swap it to your heart's content, right? But they're trying to crack down on that now. So now just about every crypto exchange, Binance, Coinbase, Kraken, you need to show ID of some kind, so that you can't just anonymously swap crypto. All right, financial controls. So that's Germany. What else we got? Bitcoin accepted at fast food chain Steak and Shake. Haven't been to Steak and Shake in a while. There's one here in Grand Rapids, and the last time we weren't real happy with the service. They were kind of slammed, but now that they're accepting Bitcoin, it would be cool to go there just to check it out. Now, of course, I'm sure they are not accepting Bitcoin directly, right? They're not going to have a Bitcoin wallet at every store. That would be cool. That's what we're shooting for, right? What they're probably using is one of these payment processors, like BitPay, where you have real Bitcoin in your wallet, maybe on your phone or whatever, and then they give you a Bitcoin address, and so you send Bitcoin to that address, right? So you can use your Bitcoin to pay them, but the payment processor will immediately convert it to dollar or fiat or whatever, wherever you are, and Steak and Shakes in the US. So it will like immediately convert to dollar and go into their books as dollar. So they're not really accepting Bitcoin per se into their own wallet, but they are allowing end users to pay with Bitcoin, which is pretty cool, right? We probably see more and more of this. Yeah, it's good stuff. Also, Kenny had brought this to my attention that Rumble, which is an alternate video sharing and viewing platform besides YouTube, is going to implement a Tether collaboration, and they're going to have their own wallet, because Coinbase, which is a cryptocurrency exchange, also has a non-custodial wallet called Coinbase Wallet, which generates a lot of confusion because people aren't sure, is it in my wallet or is it in Coinbase? They blur the line there. But Rumble wants to implement, a branded Tether-based wallet where they can pay they can pay their creators in Tether, or I don't know if people can, buy their premium services with Tether, but I would assume yes. So that's going to be pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, stable coins are here to stay, and no one's stopping stable coins. All right. So that's the news. Let me catch up on the chat and see how everybody's doing over here. So excited to be on your live podcast. G. Luna, thank you. That's very nice of you. I appreciate that. Rich Girls stacking sats. The cat is blue. Well, my cat is... I was just playing with the cat. He's outside now, so he won't be appearing unless somebody upstairs lets him in. One of the kids or my wife might let him in if he wants to come back in. But he was sleeping inside all day, so he's probably going to be out there for a while. It's gorgeous out there. Let me see if I can... I got this camera working, or at least before the stream. You can't really see it, but it is gorgeous out there. Skies are blue, everything's green. We've got a robin that made her nest on our porch out back. It's pretty cool. So, we can just go walk out on the porch and check out. There's 4 baby robins in there. So it's just gorgeous out here. But yeah, the cat probably won't be back in. I'm surprised that camera is still working. Yay. Let's see. Where were we? We were over here, right? Okay. So, yeah. My cat is brown. What is IRS 64 letter? Can you please? I have no idea. I got a lot. I've done a lot of videos on tax-based crypto services, and basically I show you how to, sign up for the service and connect your wallets. But I don't know anything about taxes. I get a lot of people asking me stuff like, I bought this Bitcoin back in 2017 and I sold some here, or I never sold it, or whatever their question is. Do I need to report all this? And I'm not sure. I'm not a tax guy. So I wish I was, or I wish I knew a lot about that kind of stuff, but I don't. I'm not qualified to answer tax questions, right? All I know is you don't get taxed on crypto until you sell it, right? So you can buy it to your heart's content. But as soon as you sell it or swap it for another crypto, that's a taxable event. I know that much, right? Ledger should give senior discounts. Yeah, that would be nice, right? Bobby is here. Thank you for being here. Dan is here. Dan is real excited about Ethereum. I think I'm going to see Dan on Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure where we're meeting. And then on Wednesday, Randy wants me to come over to Madsen. I can't think of the name of the place where we have our meetings. He wants me to come talk on Wednesday afternoon. But yeah, Dan and several people here locally have a little chat group, a text chat group, and Dan's been real excited about Ethereum. It's starting to finally pick up. It got, I don't know what it was with Ethereum. It was like the the forgotten stepsister or whatever you want to call it. But I think people are finally starting to pick up and take notice of Ethereum. Let me see if I can do this. There it is. Yeah, back at 25,000. Up good, right? Ethereum's doing great. Ethereum is a smart contract-based cryptocurrency. I'm almost done here with this. Let me see. Thank you so much for your time. When we buy crypto, how do we determine how many coins we own? Sorry, I'm new at this. That's a really good question, G. Luna. Thank you for asking that. You can buy crypto in fractions, right? That's one of the amazing things about Bitcoin. Back in 2016, there was a lot of talk about micropayments. Now, Bitcoin is kind of taken on a valued asset. People don't really spend Bitcoin. That was the original intent. But back in those days, the interesting thing about Bitcoin was, as far as think about a US dollar, the lowest denomination or the lowest fraction of a dollar you can spend is a penny. Maybe there are things out there that would be worth less than a penny, right? It's hard I can't think of anything right off the top of my head, but let's say, you want to, donate to a creator that you like or something like that, and you'd rather just give him half a penny or a quarter of a penny or a tenth of a penny, right? You can't do that with a dollar, right? But Bitcoin goes down to a Satoshi, which is 100 millionth of a full Bitcoin. And so that unleashes all kinds of possibilities, right? And as Bitcoin becomes more and more valuable, we might be talking in terms of Satoshis, right? How many Satoshis does a hamburger cost? How many Satoshis does a dining room table cost? That kind of stuff. So it doesn't really matter how many coins you have. You might buy a cryptocurrency where you would buy more than one, right? You can't really, unless you have got a lot of money to throw down, you're not probably going to want to, if you're like me, you're not going to go out and buy one Bitcoin. But you can go out and buy, a fraction of a Bitcoin, like a 0.0 of a Bitcoin. 0.001, right? Right now, 0.0, because we're at 100,000, the math is easy, right? So 0.001 Bitcoin is like $1,000, 0.0001 or whatever is $100, right? So how do you know how many coins you have? You basically look in your wallet, right? So if you have your crypto on an exchange like Coinbase, you can go on there and just look at your holdings on your exchange. So let's see here. I don't have anything on Coinbase. I don't usually keep my coins on Coinbase. But if you go over to Coinbase and look at your portfolio, like you can see right here, I've got a little bit of link, and it's not very much, right? But I can see the amount, my total amount. So if you've got Bitcoin on Coinbase, you can go into Coinbase and look at your portfolio. Now, you probably are using the simple version of Coinbase, and the simple version of Coinbase is My Assets. Right? And so it'll tell you, okay, here's my balance of the coin, right? 0.00772. So that's how you can tell how many coins you have or what fraction of a coin you have. Also, if you're storing crypto in your own wallet and you're using software like Ledger Live, then you would go into Ledger Live and then you can go into your accounts and then you can say, oh, okay, I can see this, this wallet here, Aussie, thank you for that subscription. You can go in here and just look. Okay, so I've got 0.1 Bitcoin here in this particular wallet. So that's how you can tell how many coins you have. I mean, your wallet will give you a coin balance and a dollar balance, right? It'll tell you, okay, well, this is worth this particular amount of Bitcoin, which is not a full Bitcoin. It's just a 0.1 Bitcoin, is worth $11,000, right? It's pretty good stuff. So I wanted to talk a little bit about Transact. Let's see. Let's go over here to my agenda. Secure institutional custody. We already talked about Caleb and Brown. Like I said, some people have lost a lot of crypto managing wallets because it's complicated. It's technically challenging to buy Bitcoin, even on an exchange. There are a lot of people getting scammed out of their crypto that have their crypto on exchanges like Coinbase. There's all these scammers that call up and they claim to be from Coinbase. They get you on the phone. They scare you. They tell you that someone's trying to hack your account and you need to, their technical support, and they're going to help you. And then they start asking you for information. And before you know it, they have access to your account and they're withdrawing your crypto. But it happens with self-custody too. So if I have a wallet that's a hardware wallet, it is safe and secure. But a hardware wallet always has a backup phrase that will help you if the device gets lost or stolen or damaged. Because cryptocurrency can be represented as code or cryptographic, advanced cryptographic representations, right? Your wallet, your crypto wallet can generate a backup code for you, which is 24 words or 12 words. Well, those are very important, right? A lot of people don't realize how important those words are, and they write them down carelessly, or they misplace this thing, and then something does happen to their device, right? I'm showing you my ledger STAX here. I have a STAX, I have a Flex, I have, this is a Ledger Nano X, we got the Ledger Nano S. These are all great devices, but they, you need to have a backup in case something happens to your device. Well, a lot of people don't realize how important that backup is. Someone that gets that seed phrase can just drain your wallet in a heartbeat, and you'll watch your heart just drop into your stomach as you look in Ledger Live and watch your crypto disappear. That will happen to you if you reveal your seed phrase to a scammer, or if you've got roommates and they're pretty savvy and they you're at work and they're like, hey, so Rex has a Ledger device, he must have a seed phrase laying around here somewhere. So he's been bragging about how he's got $10,000 worth of Bitcoin. Let me see if I can find that seed phrase, right? Or you're in, you've got siblings or kids or exes, whatever, right? You have to, that seed phrase is so important. You got to hide it where no one else can find it, where you can find it. So a lot of things can happen to your crypto surrounding that seed phrase. And so if you're going to use like Caleb and Brown, then they'll hold it for you. They'll manage it. You can call somebody on the phone and trade crypto or whatever. It's not for everyone, but some people need that extra customer service and support. Better they hold it than you lose it, right? That's kind of where I'm at with that. And so, but let's talk about Transact. So Ledger has just released or announced, let me see if I can find it here. Okay. This is Transact. Come on there. I thought I had, Whoops. Yeah. There's a blog post. I should. Ugh, that looks horrible. So Ledger has a blog post about this. If it'll pull up, there it is, talking about it. But what is it? Why? What's the big deal? What is this thing? Well, you can sell your crypto on an exchange like Coinbase, Binance, Kraken, Gemini, but you have to transfer it out of your wallet to them so you can swap it out to dollars and then withdraw. To me, that's easy, but for a lot of people, that's difficult. So a lot of people would like to be able to do their crypto fiat off-ramp right in Ledger Live, right? So what is Transact and how does it work and where do we find it? So we'll go into the buy-sell over here. And so they're like, okay, so you got $500 and you want to buy some Bitcoin. All right. If you hit continue here, they're going to give you a whole bunch of options. They have, this is buying Bitcoin. And one of those, pardon me, is card. And if you go into card, then there's a lot of third-party services here where you can purchase Bitcoin. Now, keep in mind, this is not Ledger. These are third parties. But they've got a deal with Coinbase where you can sort of use Coinbase from within Ledger Live, and that's cool. And then Transact is a new one that's US-based. They've got stuff all over the world. But I'm not a big fan of MoonPay and Coinify. Both of these are European-based, and my bank doesn't like it when, I try to use MoonPay to buy stuff. Using my bank card, they'll flag it as fraud, because they're not U.S. based. I didn't know they had so many of them. They have so many now. But yeah, so Transact was probably a good way for people in the U.S. to buy. Now, I can't really go through the setup with you guys here because it's going to ask me a whole bunch of stuff about me. And I did this earlier, and somehow a bunch of my personal information is already in here, be that as it may. But, when you hit buy now, they'll use Transact, and Transact is going to ask you a few questions. They sent me a code. I think it's over here. Yeah, well, it's probably gone now. I'm not sure. Well, I wiped it out, but when you first start going through this, you hit buy now, they're going to send you a confirmation code. You put in your email, and then they'll walk you through the process. Let's go back a little ways. And we'll do similar. Instead, this time, let's say we're going to pay with, whoops, it's not what I want to do. Oh, I want to go to sell over here, sell. All right, so it sees I have Bitcoin, and there it is, 0.001 is $100 worth of Bitcoin. Okay. Or a little more, right, $103. So you'll hit continue here. And you'll go to card again. And for selling your Bitcoin, and then it says hit find eligible providers. And then they look. So for selling the Bitcoin right out of your wallet, it looks like they only had MoonPay before. And MoonPay, in this case, the money's coming to you. So you would use MoonPay to and it would debit your, I think you could use your bank, maybe just your ATM card. So when you were selling your Bitcoin, the proceeds, the fiat proceeds were going on to your ATM card. And some people in the US would fail the KYC for MoonPay because it's kind of flaky, right? Because it's European based, right? So So now we got Transact. So, I would say, okay, I want to use Transact. And when you hit sell now, they're going to send you a code to your, well, they're going to ask you for an email, and then they'll send you a code, and then you go through with the rest of it. My name and my address were already in here. I must have punched them in before, but you'll probably be asked, okay, give us your phone number, your email, all that, KYC stuff. And then the very last question was, well, sorry, but we need your social security number, And so, okay, you want my social security number. I'll probably go through this on a standalone video where, I can blur stuff out. I can't blur during the live stream, so I can't really walk you through the whole process. But yeah, I think after you give them your social security number, then they'll probably ask you for whatever card you want them to debit for, the sale of the Bitcoin that you have in your wallet. So you can do that within Ledger Live now. There's, it's pretty flexible now. I'm still an old timer, and I still would prefer to I would prefer to use my wallet as a wallet and not use all these third-party, payment processors within my wallet. I prefer to say, okay, this is my wallet. This is where I keep my crypto. And if I want to sell it, I'll send it back I'll transfer it to an exchange and sell it there. I'm not going to sell it right out of my wallet. Who knows how much Transact is going to know about my wallet if I use them right within Ledger Live. Now, I'm sure Coinbase knows where my Bitcoin comes from. They're like, okay, Rex, we know Rex. He's got an account with us. He's sent us Bitcoin on multiple occasions, and it looks like it comes from this wallet or, these wallets. They have all my blockchain information because, they maintain their own wallets. So they know quite a bit about me, but it's almost impossible not to have anybody know anything about you these days. Your iPhone is spying on you. Your computer's spying on you. Everything that you do is recorded somewhere. And when you're doing blockchain stuff, it's recorded in the immutable blockchain. So, but yeah, I'm a little paranoid about, doing stuff right within my wallet. But hey, like I said, I'm an old timer. I'll definitely do a video on Transact. Let's see here. So that's Transact. That's a new feature right within Ledger Live over in the buy sell section, right? You can do swap too. They've got all kinds of features in Ledger Live where you can buy, sell, swap, do all kinds of fun stuff here. The swap is mostly Ethereum based, right? I don't have a bunch of Ethereum in my wallet. Let's see here. Before I get to tokenization, I got an email from Erin. I guess she attends the live stream, but she doesn't usually post in the chat. But it's nice to know that she's here. We'll talk a little bit about tokenization here, but let me get caught up with some questions. Hi, Dad. Assault Tiger is asking. He's got a Secure X Bio Shield. I think it's really good. Do you know why Secure X may not be so well known in the hardware wallet space? You're asking me about a company. I've done a video on Secure X. I think I'm spelling this right. Am I? No, I am not. Okay, SECU. Oh, okay, there's no E there. That should be it. Is that it? Yeah. Okay. So it's a hardware wallet company. It looks like I thought it was a card. Oh, okay. I guess it's like a hardware device. This is the card that I was thinking about. It's an interesting device. It has, as you can see here, it has up and down menu here right on the card. And it's got a fingerprint reader, and it's got an e-ink display. And you can carry it around like a card. It has a lot of cool features. I don't know why it's not as popular as some other wallets. There's wallets, like Ledger has been around for a while. Ledger has an API that developers can use. So it's sort of like when, a big company kind of gets into the space first and a lot of people trust them, they're going to, that's kind of snowballs. And so, and Ledger is constantly improving their interface. I had somebody asking me in the comments, I think I read a comment earlier, and they said, I had a Ledger, I had a Trezor, but I'm looking to up my game, and I heard about air-gapped and the Jade Stream. I would love to review Jade Stream, but they've just ignored me. I've sent them several emails and said, hey, I'd like to review your wallet. Could you send me one? And they ghost me. I don't know if that's intentional or if I'm not getting a hold of the right person. I get a lot of wallet companies that send me an email. So I don't know why I've never been able to get Jade Stream let me see. I don't know if I'm getting this right or not. Come on, Rex. Where's Blockstream Jade? Pardon me, Blockstream Jade. I guess they're first of all, they're Bitcoin only, which is fine, I guess, if all you have is Bitcoin. I maintain a lot of different cryptos, but I do have some Bitcoin only wallets. And I believe they're air-gapped, if I'm not mistaken. My thing is, they are air-gapped. Crypto wallets are difficult for people to learn, right? But there's so much fear, uncertainty, and doubt in the space, and people are always paranoid. Oh, this wallet. This wallet might get hacked. I might lose. So I want to get the best wallet. When they say best, they're thinking the most secure, the best wallet out there. Well, the most secure wallet might not be the best wallet. Now that sounds crazy, doesn't it? Interface. You could have the most secure wallet ever made, and then you can't figure out how to use it, and then you lose crypto because you do something wrong. So does the word best really fit when we talk about the most secure wallet? My thing is, I've been doing this a long time. I'm a little bit jaded, but I find air-gapped wallets to be mostly security theater. They say, oh, it's air-gapped, nothing ever touches it. And I'm like, yeah, well, you scan QR codes. QR codes can be malicious, right? And to upgrade firmware, you need to download their latest firmware on a flash drive, and then you take that flash drive and you stick it in your device. Well, it is now connected to the internet, albeit across the air, but you're still connecting to the internet. So this whole idea of air-gapped is the best thing ever, I'm not a huge believer in that. And it's difficult to use. I know what I'm doing, and I find air-gapped wallets to be very cumbersome and inconvenient. I want my crypto transactions to be quick and easy and seamless and smooth. And that's why I use, the big three for me are Trezor. Trezor's been around forever. I love Trezor. Trezor Safe 5 is a color touchscreen. A lot of people don't care for the touchscreen. They like Trezor Safe 5. Both of these wallets have secure element chips, right? Security through secrecy. They're not, you know, I'm not going to go into the open source argument right now. So we have Trezor, and then we have Ledger, of course, which I've been using Ledger forever. Ledger Flex, Ledger STAX, Ledger Nano X, Ledger Nano S Plus. We've been talking about these all night. Easy to use, right? Improved interface. That's what's important, right? You have a wallet that's so secure you can't figure out how to use it. It's not going to do you any good. You know, you want to go, study this wallet for 3 months or a week or whatever, drop everything for a week, figure out how to use it, become an expert. Great. Most people, no. Most people are they got life going on, right? They want a wallet that they can pick up and start using, you know, hit the ground running, right? So there's a learning curve with air-gapped wallets. And then, well, we've got Tangem. We talked about Tangem earlier. Love Tangem. Tangem, what's great about Tangem, now there are some drawbacks to every wallet, right? Tangem cards never show you that key, right? So when you get a Tangem card, you can use their seedless option. So it's great for beginners, and it's cool and elegant. There's no reason why you have to choose one wallet either. I've got Ledger, I've got Trezor, I've got Tangem, I got crypto wallets laying all over the place. But my go-to wallets, you know, are Ledger, Trezor, and Tangem. Yeah. Anyhow, let's see, where are we at? Getting close to the end here. It's just when I try purchase a Flex, you've verified on the website. It's not seeing my Nano S. Oh, you've tried it? It didn't work? I'm sorry to hear that, Willie J. I did a video on that. Now, there are several things that come into play when you connect that wallet up. Now, let me go back here and see if I can find that. My recent videos. I believe this video I go through the step by step. So you have to connect your device to your computer. You have to unlock the device. You don't have to sign anything. But sometimes your browser blocks pop-ups. So there's a pop-up that comes up in your browser. So you might want to check your browser, make sure you don't have pop-ups blocked. Make sure that the device is connected with a good cable. You might try a different cable. You might try a different USB port. You know, we get down to, you know, it's a piece of hardware trying to make a connection. So, I'm sorry to hear you're having trouble. It's not seeing your device, but, you know, maybe try some troubleshooting and see if you can get it to recognize the device. You don't even have to have the device set up. You just have to get far enough to where you've set up a pin. You don't have to sign anything. So you just have to have it to where there's a pin. You can enter your pin, unlock the device and connect it, and then it should see it and qualify you for the discount. So maybe try a few of those troubleshooting steps. G Luna, this just happened to me. I got a text saying I needed to call regarding crypto. I deleted the text. Yes, G Luna, there's all kinds of scammers out there. Text, email, phone, websites, all kinds of people trying to scare you. I just watched a video by the guy, if you recall, there's a movie called Catch Me If You Can with Leonardo DiCaprio where he was posing as an airline pilot and a teacher and a doctor, and he was a scammer, and he was passing a lot of bad checks back in the 60s. Well, that is a real guy, and he does, you know, he works for the FBI now trying to help, you know, catch fraudsters, and he had a great video about what do you look for in a scammer. How do you know you're about to be scammed? And the two main things are he wants money right away. He's got a lot of excuses. He's going to give you a great story. He's very confident, but it always involves, hey, I need you to give me access to money right now. So I need your debt. I need your bank account. I need your card, whatever. So that's a scammer. I need your money right now. And there's time pressure. So that's number one. Number two, they want information, right? So they'll go, hey, this is your bank calling. There's a problem with your account. But before we can help you, I need you to read me your credit card number and that little security code on the back, right? So they want money right away, or they want personal information right away. Anybody that, if they're going to call you, they're going to, oh, I'm here to help you. Someone else is trying to scam you. I'm trying to help you. I need some money right now. That blows their cover right there. Right? Or, hey, I need your bank account number to verify. They're always like that, right? And it's hard because real banks do that too. You call for tech support. They go, before I can give you tech support, I need your account number. I need your name, all that stuff. So the real people do that too. So scammers are just going to jump on that bandwagon and try to get, but when somebody calls you, right? It's one thing if you call your bank and you want tech support. It's another thing if somebody calls you, right? Don't give out money. Don't give access to your bank account, your credit card, your security code. Don't give out personal information. Doesn't matter who they say they are. Assault. Okay, we got that one. I want to get caught up here. Coinbase says buy debit Dutch exchange 0.2 billion deal to expand crypto options based. Oh, okay. So yeah, Coinbase is entering into some incredible partnerships here. Yeah, I'm sorry. I think I saw that somewhere. I didn't cover that. One possible solution could be to use a passphrase, memorize it, and store it somewhere else. Memorization is great if you're good at that kind of thing, but memorizing a seed phrase is difficult. And are you still going to remember it 10 years later? My thing is stick with the basics, write it down in one place, store it in a secure location. Don't make it more complicated than it needs to be. Like, okay, I got a seed phrase and then I got a passphrase. I got my seed phrase written down, but I'm going to memorize my passphrase. That's secure, but what if you get hit in the head with a bowling ball and then you forgot your passphrase? So, write it down, store it in a safe location. It's simple. What if somebody finds it? Let's not get complicated, right? I said secure location, right? That means no one's going to find it. But that's the work, right? Like, don't get fancy with, I'm going to store it in 5 different places. I'm going to write it in a special code that only I know. No. Write it down in one place. Store it in a secure location. And then where am I going to hide it? That's where we get fancy, right? That's on you. Oh, Scott Lee is here. Scott, it's good to have you. Oh my gosh, Scott, we missed you so much. Thank you for joining the live stream. We're happy to have you back, Scott. It's good to have you here. Birds, bees, and trees. It's still worth it to use my ledger from 2021. Also, I feel better consulting you off live. And also, is it safe? Is the best place to store your 12-word seed phrase? Okay, well, the best place to store your seed phrase is on a business card in your wallet. No, don't ask me. And also, I've seen some. You can see some great lists on if you Google them. Let's see. Let's do a quick Google. 10 worst hiding places. Whoops. Right? These are all the people think, hey, I am so savvy, right? I'm going to hide dresser drawers, right? Freezer or fridge. No one will think to look in my freezer. Children's bedroom. Hey, they're going to look in my bedroom, not my kids. Go through all these. There are horrible places under the mattress, right? In the toilet tank. Yeah, somebody thought about that one. Your nightstand, your jewelry box, your medicine cabinet, your portable safe. These are all bad hiding places. Suitcases, coffee cans, obviously fake containers, laundry basket hamper. You gotta be creative, right? So go through all these bad hiding places and then come up with something really good. There are still good places to hide things. You'll figure it out. But don't ask me, right? I'm going to tell you in public. Scott, I'm so glad to have you here. Good to have you back in the stream. Let's see. I don't see any more questions. I'm going to cut it off because, I'm trying to keep these to an hour, reasonable amount of time. I'm glad everyone is here tonight. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. It's another exciting time. We're back. Oh, Aaron, I wanted to talk about tokenization. Ethereum smart contracts can be used for swaps and staking, liquidity pools. An Ethereum smart contract or even a Solana smart contract can be used to embed code that allows you to swap and trade. You can also use an Ethereum smart contract to implement an agreement of some kind. Like, for example, 5 people want to get together and deposit Ethereum in a smart contract or a wallet, so to speak. Well, but the wallet is governed by the smart contract. You can code the smart contract to say, okay, 5 people are going to put, an equal amount of coins in this smart contract, and then at the end of 5 years, they'll all be able to get it out, right? Based on their keys. It can be as complicated or as simple as really you want it to. But you can implement those sort of things within smart contracts, whereas before, you had to use your venture capital and get a lawyer, and the lawyer would, draw up this big contract, and, who gets what, when, all that kind of stuff. You can implement all of that in smart contracts. And that's a form of tokenization, right? So I want the money, we've got all this venture capital, but we would like to implement it within a smart contract. You can do that with Ethereum, right? It's just like any other coding language. They use Java. There's a lot of coding languages that you can use to code contracts that can implement financial agreements. So that's sort of like what tokenization is. Or, we put a bunch of money in a bank and then we issue tokens. And then that way, we have access to that money that's stored in this safety deposit box or in this bank account through this tokenization contract. So I know you asked me about that. I wanted to get that out. Sorry. Waited to the very end. But thanks, guys. Let's see. Let's go over here and see if this camera is working. It's not bad. You can still see that table on the edge, but that's fine. Kenny, thank you so much for the news. I used most of your news stories for the news tonight, and I really appreciate you always updating me with the news on a daily basis. And I hope you got some improvements to your short game today. You said you were out practicing. Thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. Thank you, Dan, for moderating. I appreciate you. I didn't see JDO in tonight, but thank you, JDO, wherever you are. And thank you, Scott, for being here. It was so refreshing to see Scott jump in tonight. That's so cool. And then everyone that asked questions, thank you. Thank you, all the regulars, for being here. I call you out by name every week because I really appreciate you guys being here and supporting me, the moral support. It always helps to see people here in the chat on a regular basis. So I am so honored that you spend your an hour with me every Saturday. I appreciate it. So thank everyone that asked questions. I will do this again next week, every Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join me again for the live stream from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. Hope to see you there. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me and hope to see you again soon. Have a good night, everybody.